Psych! You are tuned into SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We are SunDogs, the two favorite canines. The gruesome twosome. That's the first omen of Friday the 13th here on SunDogs Present Local Vibes. You're tuned into 94.1 FM WFNU. How are you doing? How was the week? I hope the weekend's getting kicked off right here with SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We're joined in the doghouse by Mama Rose.
Woof.
Woof. That is the most succinct way to put it. We really appreciate you taking out the time to sit down with us. Because we know you're busy, and we know you're a fan of technical difficulties. That's what the show is all about.
Well, at least half about.
More information can be found at Dear Mama Rose on Instagram and at mamarose.blog, correct?
Correct.
We're not allowed to really tell people what to do, but we can provide the websites where the information is available. More information about the radio show can be found on Facebook, SunDogs Present Local Vibes. There's a page. And before us, you were listening to the 94.1 FM WFNU Music Rotation. Excuse me. If you have radio-edited songs, you can send those to station manager at WFNU.org. And if you have radio-edited R&B or hip-hop songs, you know what to do with them. You send them, we suggest that you send them to sundogstc@gmail.com.
Might be walking the line, my guy.
Excuse me. After us, because SunDogs Present Local Vibes is kicking your weekend off every Friday from 6 to 7, more of that 94.1 FM music rotation is coming your way. And then Fridays at 9, Get the Gravy Hot with Gall Dagburn. Fridays at 10, DJ Dom Terrace hosts Basic Beats. Fridays at 11 is the replay of Club 120 Plus with Sid DeLuca. And those aren't the only programs here on WFNU that we want you to catch, that we'd suggest you catch.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Other great shows, Midday Escape, is that where we're at?
With Philip Gracia, yes sir.
With Philip Gracia. Is that Fridays at noon, and the replay is Thursdays at noon.
The morning program with Dr. Rick Burnett, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays at 7 a.m.
And then
Extra Dimension with ENR Buck, Sundays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m.
Very true.
Pardon me. 651 Sports Update with Mike Rez, Saturdays at 10 a.m.
Talon Brazier Motivational Talks is Thursdays at 3.
Hits and History of the 60s, 70s, 80s, also with Dr. Rick Burnett, live 8 a.m. Mondays. Replays Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight.
Evolution with Mr. Zero and Dr. Rick Burnett is Wednesdays at noon live and Fridays at 8 a.m. with replay.
And we suggest that you tune in to Funk to Your Ears Tuesdays at 7 p.m., Saturdays at 7 p.m.
Yeah, don't miss that.
Thank you again, station managers, for staying up to date on everything from the clerical work to the community outreach. Thank you again. This is a marvelous space. And we're going to shout out not only more local music, but more shows that highlight that local music here in the Twin Cities. The Sota Sound radio show, hosted by Nacho Suave and Half Pint of the B&E crew, Wednesdays at 5 p.m. You can just look up Sota Sound, S-O-T-A, on Facebook. Sota Sound Radio on Facebook,
Also on Facebook.
If you wish.
Chopping It Up with Pops is another good one with local hip-hop and R&B artists.
Mini Rapolis podcast, Logan Michaels. YouTube may have more information.
Live every Friday on Mixcloud, DJ Buster Baxter with the DJ Buster Baxter Show has got a lot of information.
And the B&E Music channel on YouTube hosts Walrus the Human Show.
Oh, and so our guest next week is Ashley Marie, and I don't know if she's still doing her show here at WFNU, but she is interviewing guests on Instagram, so follow that, because she's always done great interviews. She was doing interviews with artists before we even knew about the radio station.
Before we were even born. No, I'm just kidding. We got a great show for you today again. Mama Rose is patiently waiting as we're getting through the last. She's pacing. Her producer's shaking his head now. You can find more information at Dear Mama Rose on Instagram and at mamarose.blog. Like we just said, Ashley Marie is going to be sitting down with us where you are right now next week. Our last interview was with Beat a Man
Yup.
That's a pretty good show as well.
That is. He's always a great time.
There are 3 ways that we suggest you tune into the show live audibly. The first is living within the Frogtown community, tuning into 94.1 FM. The second is going to wfnu.org/live.
Mm-hmm.
And the third is to search for the Live 3... Excuse me.
Oh, no.
The Live 365 app provides you with the ability to stream 94.1 FM, SunDogs Present Local Vibes, any WFNU program from anywhere in the world.
And also SunDogs TC YouTube channel has got a way for you to watch it live.
Has the live stream, I believe, that we're on right now.
We're on right now.
I'm not sure if that's the right camera, but no worries. Fridays from 6 to 7, 651-313-5125 is the studio line. If something perhaps bubbles up inside you, like a song request or a question for Mama Rose,
Ooh, fun.
a psychic reading, 12 cents a minute.
If you've got beef with Mama Rose.
Oh, we'll settle it on air.
We're all about the drama. We're all about the ratings.
Just don't swear. If you don't swear, we'll put you on the air.
Yeah.
But we will screen the calls before we put them through, definitely. 651-313-5125, if you so desire.
Feel free to call in.
There are 2 open mics. I'd like to share the information with you. One is Urban Lights, hosted by Vlad G and a.k.a. Kobe.
Yeah.
That is every first Thursday from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Make sure you chat it up with Tim, the Oder.
And then the Freight Room open mic is at the Depot every Tuesday. And that goes from 6 to 10, and that's pretty cool.
Studio phone 651-313-5125.
Mini Ox also has an open mic now, but it's like booked a week in advance. But it's a great show if you want to go check it out.
Yeah, where's that?
It's on some patio, but I think it's by the creative space. I don't got my phone. But yeah, we'll be shouting that out from now on because love me some good music.
More information can be found about the show and about SunDogs at SunDogsTC on Instagram, and more information can be found at Dear Mama Rose on Instagram, as well as mamarose.blog.
Indeed.
That is the business, as they say.
Thanks for sitting through.
And if you're just tuning in, now's the perfect time to be tuning in because the spotlight is shining on Mama Rose.
Yeah, it's about to get juicy.
The fluorescent spotlight.
I was gonna say it's the not the greatest light, but it's the greatest conversation. So we like to start with the origin story, how music was introduced to you, what names you went by perhaps before Mama Rose.
I've only ever gone by Mama Rose and Charlotte Rose.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
cool.
and then when I was a kid, just my full name. But yeah, so my name is Charlotte Rose Tower, and I decided to start to use the name Mama Rose when I became a mom, even though I felt it coming way before that because I've always wanted to be a mom my whole life. I've had 3 priorities for the most part, which is show business and motherhood and psychic work. So, but it kind of came together in a really weird, wobbly kind of way before I landed in the center of the process where I feel like I am now, where all those things are still growing and developing, but like I at least know what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah, take us on that journey. So when did you start being either a performer and artist, do you think? When did that start? Or
Yeah.
what even inspired that? Were your parents, in the circus?
No. No.
The Flying Towers?
Neither of my parents are really into performance. My mom's an artist. She's a photographer, and she was a visual artist. Is a visual artist, but was a visual artist already when I was growing up. She didn't start photography until a little bit later. Like, she always took pictures, but she wasn't like a well-known photographer. Kathy Tower is her name. Until more recently. And now she's all over, especially she does live music photography. So it's like our paths just ended up working really well together. So she does a lot of my photos and
No way.
is able to help me with a lot of promotion and stuff like that, which is awesome.
That's
But
so cool.
she actually, when I was a kid, she was my art teacher at school. I went to a really cool, weird school where our parents had to volunteer for us to be able to go there. So she did that. And then she was also in marketing. So she taught me how to be super ambitious and just like completely embody my Capricorn rising part of myself, which is to just like go at something 100%. And yeah, she taught me how to get myself out there. So that was a nice thing. And then my dad has never been a performer either, but I just started performing in school like I think most people do when you are told that you have a part in a play that you have to do. But my first part in a play, I didn't even do it because I was so nervous that I gave my lines away to somebody else. I was so nervous every single day that I got to lay down in the nurse's office and just cry for like 2 hours. No, that's not true. It felt like 2 hours. It was probably really not that long, like 45 minutes.
What part and what play, if it doesn't bring up too many traumatic memories?
It's all been integrated, so no worries. I don't remember what the play was about, and I don't remember what my part was or what my lines were. It was really boring, and it was something that I had absolutely no emotional connection to at all, and reciting the lines was like reading from something that I had to like stamp in my brain, and it just didn't feel good and it didn't feel fun. And I think it was a very good first lesson about like, you know, how to get in front of people or how not to get in front of people, how to use my voice, what's really worth saying on stage. But yeah, that was
were you doing acting through school?
I did a theater camp a couple summers once I got into middle school, and it was like the best thing ever. Like it felt like I finally found people who were as weird as me on purpose.
I was just gonna say, theater kid's pretty weird.
Yeah, it was so great. And I was like pretty solidly in the center of the spectrum of weird at that point. I feel like I've like grown weirder as time's gone on, which is also a great gift.
Yes.
But yeah, so there was that kind of developing. I had some close people in my life, an uncle and my best friend's dad who lived just down the street who were musicians, and I was just absolutely immersed in gratitude to be able to learn from them, to see them do their thing and perform. My parents brought me to a lot of live music. They're both really into music. So I had that passion kind of bubbling up at that time. And it got to the point where writing became a way that I could express myself when things were really difficult for me to talk about. I had a lot of anxiety as a kid, and writing was really like sometimes the only way that I felt like I could even communicate with my parents. So I learned how to write, and I remember like sitting down and trying to write stories and messing up a word. And since I was writing, like handwriting and not typing, I would like just get so frustrated and mad and crumple the whole thing up and throw it away and start over again. And but I got really good at being able to put ideas together, and then getting to the point later where that started to become the way that I was able to speak. And then I did speech in middle school. That was something that my school offered as like an extracurricular activity.
What category?
Yeah. It was
if you recall,
like I don't remember what the category was called, but it was like medium length stories, like fictional stories. So I wrote a story that I would perform over and over and over again and really work on the emotion. And they'd be like, "You're not doing anything with your hands. Like, what are you can't just stand there."
Oh my gosh.
So taught me some good stuff. Yeah, my story was something that came to me psychically, which was really cool, and I didn't tell anybody that at the time, but it was like this really visceral experience of being this little girl in some South American country that lived a really long time ago in like a really flammable type of home, and everything was burning. And then getting to the point where after that had happened and things were like kind of starting to rebuild, just being immersed in grief and seeing a bald eagle flying.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you win a lot?
I won
very
some.
Unique, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. Mostly I feel like I just got really good feedback and made a lot of really good friends.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, so the performing, so we got theater, we got speech, which is pretty much just public speaking, or like speaking in front of judges, I guess, which is pretty close to the same thing.
Yeah, when did music enter the equation?
Yeah.
Well, music was always there too. Like, I've always been singing, and singing is my main form of self-expression, I would say. So as soon as I was able to write things down on paper, then I started to write songs and sing them and perform them for my family members. I had a friend who is one of the people who I said her dad was a musician, is still a musician. His name's John Franken. And he was a blues musician. So he gave us some inspiration and sometimes like the instruments. And we didn't really play instruments much, but we made a lot of songs together, my friend and I.
That's huge.
And we decided to be a band and put on little shows for our neighbors and stuff like that. And that was all around when I was like 5 or 6.
Oh my gosh.
We would create plays and cast our friends in different roles and perform and just kind of got into it in a way that felt organic and self-directed. But when I was under other people's direction, I felt very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I bet. Especially with doing it yourself. It's like, I could do this. I could throw some people together here. We can hold an audience's attention.
Yeah, it's kind of stayed like the theme.
And then later on, after drama, after speech, after kind of perfecting your written word, what was the first musical performance on stage that you were kind of more conscious of?
Right, yeah. Well,
if you can recall.
I think that I fell out of the whole realm of the arts for a while when I was in high school because academics were really rigorous and challenging, and I knew that I wanted to go to nursing school, and I was struggling really bad with anxiety, which was diagnosed as obsessive compulsive disorder, and it was actually diagnosed when I was 5. So I had a long childhood and adolescence of trying to navigate that, but it got really bad in high school because it was stress related, and it was also related to having things that weren't processed in my family environment. It was related to just like not having a spiritual connection where I needed to, or like being aware of myself enough and feeling like I was trying to fit into a social environment that was really confusing, and being in a relationship that was pretty detrimental in the long run too. So all that stuff together was like, this is just too much. I don't know how to get myself into the place of being able to create right now. That's gonna go on hold.
And we're about to have to take a break.
Okay.
So yeah, we're about to hear what brought her back from almost not doing art anymore after the break.
It was
Mama
almost
Rose
over.
Here on SunDogs present Local Vibes. back to SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We are sitting down with the one, the only, the cliche phrase, not the cliche performance, cliche phrase, one, the only, Mama Rose. Much more important than that phrase. Much more talented and
unique
than that phrase.
Thank you.
Right before the break, we were talking about the kind of academic, emotional culmination of things in the high school days, as I recall.
Yeah.
That kind of brought you away from the arts.
Yeah. So, I think that any artist who's listening might kind of resonate with the idea that there has to be a space for art. And sometimes we intentionally create a space, sometimes we're not able to find that space, and sometimes things in our life happen that create that space. And a lot of the time, what happens that creates that space is grief. And I think that for me, what kind of brought me back online into myself, into my spirituality, straight on my path, into the awareness that I am this multifaceted person that can really create a life that's far beyond the box of what I was handed in high school, was a breakup that happened in my second year of college. So I did go to nursing school. I did great in high school. I got great grades. I was extremely unhealthy mentally, but my grades were great. And it's just one of those things that's you show up on paper really differently than the reality of things. But so I was in nursing school. I was doing well in nursing school. I was still in the same relationship, a long-term relationship. I had traveled through Europe the summer before and then done another year of school. So I had just finished my sophomore year. And it was spring, and something happened, and something shifted in me, and it was instigated by music. I felt like there were certain moments where music was able to pull me back into myself. And when I got those little tastes, those little samples of who I was, that was a part of it. And then also there were some things that had happened in the context of that relationship that were just so not me, and so just felt so counterintuitive to my path that it kind of shook me awake. And in letting go of that relationship, I let go of my whole idea of what my future was going to look like, and I opened up this space. And in that space, I was able to create again. And I started to do things that were just much more aligned with kind of those three things that I said were main parts of, who I am and what my vocation and what my purpose in life is. And it brought me to a really adorable 4-story old Victorian mansion called Dr. Chocolate's Chocolate Chateau. Yeah. And every time that I answered the phone while I worked at Dr. Chocolate's Chocolate Chateau...
Wait, that's a real place?
Yes, it is. And I got to say, Dr. Chocolate's Chocolate Chateau, this is Charlotte.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so what happened was... I did some stuff. I found a new partner. I found a whole new group of friends. I found a new house that was in the Selby Dale area, and I loved it, and I loved my neighborhood, and I was just super curious and ready to explore and do new things. And I thought, this place that's right down the street, this mansion, is like the most beautiful structure that I've ever seen, and I need to get inside of it. And a couple weeks later, a new business showed up in there. So I went there, and with my friends while we were exploring the neighborhood, and I found out that this entire place was filled with chocolate. It was a chocolate shop. And this super ambitious millionaire from California had accidentally created a business just trying to sell chocolate, but also made this real estate investment and realized that he was in over his head, so he decided to combine the two and make this chocolate shop.
Oh my gosh.
And so I got a job there so that I could be there more. And in that space, the acoustics were absolutely out of this world. And I wrote some songs there years and years ago. That was 8 years ago, 9 years ago maybe, that I haven't even released yet. And they're going to come soon, actually. I've been working on the instrumental parts of that. And in the third and fourth floor of that building was this space that had amazing acoustics. And the fourth floor was like this wraparound kind of balcony thing where you could look over this place that was like a stage, and I asked about maybe doing a show there. And I had nothing prepared, but I got some stuff together that I had written, that I had been working on, and the owner was really supportive and said that he wanted me to do it, and I had a bunch of people come out, and it was great, and that was really impactful for me, and also kind of caused me to decide to drop out of nursing school to pursue music and my other things more fully. Yeah, so.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And when was that? What was the name of the event?
I don't know what the name of the event was.
Even more of a tongue twister?
It was Dr. Chocolate's it was probably just like Charlotte Rose.
Very cool.
At Dr. Chocolate's Chocolate Chateau.
I mean,
But-
that's a classy name for maybe even a whole album.
Like, I would
you know
go
what
to
I'm
that.
saying?
So that was a pivotal turning point in kind of reassessing your priorities.
It was like a pivotal support point. Like,
Okay.
I feel like at that moment I was like, I can do this. I'm supported in this. Like, there's community around this. There are people who are interested in seeing me succeed in this way. And this thing that has always felt very off limits because there's absolutely no money guaranteed in it is something that maybe I can do. And that started to come together with the psychic work. And then pretty soon, didn't take too much longer for that to come together with mothering, for all of that to start to roll into its own ball and create this lane.
So when was Charlotte Rose at Dr. something?
Dr. Chocolate's Chocolate Chateau.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was 2012.
Okay, and it's
Yeah.
been pretty much nonstop ever since, with the music at least?
Yeah, it's been nonstop, but it's not always
Linear.
looked the same way.
Yeah, we were,
like,
because we met you when you were doing Pact,
yep, which we still are.
which you still are.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know, because for a second I thought maybe no, but then, yeah, I saw pictures of all you guys stacked on top of each other, and
Yeah.
it looks exciting.
Which was a collage, by the way. We're not, like, really
No
that
way.
athletic.
I thought you guys did like a
It was-
totem pole.
Yeah, it looked very
I'm
acrobatic.
so excited that that's how that came
It-
across.
it
That
does.
was
Like, I've
so
seen
funny.
2 people yoga. I haven't seen 4 people yoga.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. That's
But
great.
yeah, I don't know if the people on live can see Tom over there, another
Yes,
member of Pact.
Tom is here. Tom is a member of Pact and also my
Supporting.
wonderful partner.
Yes.
Mhm.
So when after the Dr. Chocolate's Chocolate Emporium,
No.
Dr.
Chateau.
Chocolate's Chocolate Chateau.
Chateau.
The
You
double
got it.
chocolates what threw me off. But yeah, so you were doing, was it all songs or was it spoken word?
I
or-
did some spoken word and I did some, and then mostly singing, yeah. The spoken word started to happen, like, accidentally because of having lots of thoughts and needing to be able to get them out quickly.
Mhm.
And usually when I write something, like, I don't usually sit down and think, like, I'm going to craft this around this concept and, like, you know, communicate this message. It's like a stream. So, yeah, that started to happen around that time, too. And I had a lot of hip-hop influence, so I knew kind of, like, where it was coming from or where its backbone was.
Mhm.
But it's my spoken word and my rap are usually a little bit more fluid and a little bit less metered or break the meter pretty often. So it was some of that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I personally, well, I don't even know how much time we got left. We definitely want to get the intro, like the origin story.
Yeah.
So we've got that pretty well nailed,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome
Yeah,
to where
almost
you
to
are
present
today.
day.
Yeah, do you want to talk about Pact a little bit before we have to go to our next
Yeah,
break?
sure. So Pact, P-A-C-T, is the name of the collective that I'm a part of. And we make music together, and we make art, and we also do a lot of other things. We're really just a family of artists who has a lot of passion for what's going on in the world and being a part of our community, cultivating space, and we get together really, really regularly and work on really fun stuff. We have a couple songs that are out on Spotify and every other streaming platform. We have a bunch of songs that we didn't release or haven't released. And then we, more than anything, I think at this point right now, are using each other for creative support. And we're not in as much of a production phase
Mhm.
in our own, like, group music.
Okay.
Because most of us are really involved in our own personal solo music journey too. So yeah.
Well, that's nice that you guys realized that it's like, hey, this was nicer doing it with a family of people around, like regardless of what everything we're making is all together or not. Like,
yeah. Oh, and the family is myself, and then it's Tom. He goes by Tom Tom DeBomb.
Yep.
He also goes by Tom Tom, and he also goes by Thomas C. Gorton. And then we have Philip St. John and
PSJ.
AMG. Yep, PSJ and AMG. Yeah, so it's 4 of us.
Very cool.
And was there one open mic that you guys
where'd you guys meet? How'd you do that?
Or
Why did you just say that? Did you know that? Or did you just like
that's just an assumption.
pull that out of the ether? Yes, that is exactly what happened.
Nice.
Aaron and I, Aaron is AMG. We decided to go to the Fifth Element open mic because he was like, I'm telling you, this place is where it's at. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to come out and I'm going to actually rap on stage because normally I would just sing or, like, do some poetry. And so we went, and I was, like, just totally in my I'm here to be me. And lo and behold, that energy is pretty attractive. And not in, like, a like sexually attractive or anything like that. I mean, like, it's magnetic, and it magnetized people to me who are my family. So that's where I met Tom and where I met Phil in the same day, and a bunch of other really awesome people that I'm still connected with. And it kind of just was like a seed point for where I am right now. Yeah,
what would be your advice to artists who really, really are struggling with anxiety, up-and-coming artists?
Yeah, meditate, get out of your head. You have to have enough space for your thoughts to move around to allow them to get out of some of the more rigid patterning that they're in. And you have to get yourself into a state where you're able to receive thoughts instead of creating them. So if you're not in the flow state, you're not going to know what to do for your unique path and your unique journey to success because you're not able to hear your guidance. And if you're not in the flow state, you're also not going to be able to receive your messages, which are going to be coming from your past, they're going to be coming from your body, they're going to be coming from your future, your dreams, your desires, they're going to be coming from what's outside of you as well. So you want to be in the flow state.
That's huge. 651-313-5125. Mama Rose is dropping bombs of knowledge, not only knowledge, but wisdom.
Yeah, very, very crazy. It reminds me of PSJ's got this little skit at the end of one of his songs that's like very similar to that, where it's like just like a sound you hear is not created by you. You like observe it. Thoughts are also not created by you. They come and you observe. Man, the sound, sorry to break this up, but like, and shine some light on him, but like, yeah, the sound by PSJ and his new project, Sun Indigo is also fire.
Philip St. John, look him up.
He's singing. He's singing now, man. Singing it.
His voice is incredible.
Yes.
And the way that he blends it with rap is like, it's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite artists.
More information can be found at Dear Mama Rose on Instagram and at mamarose.blog. If you're just tuning in, we're sitting down with Mama Rose here on SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We are going to take a break here in about 5 minutes. And yeah, I think we were going to ask about any upcoming shows, whether you may have solo or that Pack may have collectively.
Yeah, there may be something in the works that isn't solidified yet.
Yeah, I don't want you to.
So just stay tuned on social media for that, because I'll always post about things. Also on my website, which is mamarose.blog, I have an events page there, and that's, if you need it, the spelling, it's mamarose.blog. So you can stay up to date there. But yeah, other than that, I don't have any shows that I can shout out right now.
Okay.
No biggie, no worries. Uh-oh.
It's the rap/sing attack here on SunDogs Present Local Vibes.
Okay. Let's see. one at a time.
I've been a dog, my son a dog. You been a dog?
Try as you might now. Take it one at a time.
Oh man!
Oh my
Thank
gosh! I
you.
think you just made history. That was the first ever Sing Attack or
Great.
R&B attack here on SunDogs Present Local Vibes. Holy moly!
That's
Thank
a
you.
very,
Holy moly.
very,
The opportunity.
very good way if you're not, some people are so intimidated by the rap attack that they're just like, no, let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just having the music in you, and then if you're singing, it's way less words, people.
It is. It's really the way to go. No, I mean, I also like freestyling with rap too, but that's been one of the things that's a little harder for me to access lately. Singing has been way more easy go-to.
And hitting them killer flows,
And-
just floating over the beat,
Thank
singing,
you. Oh
so
my
Yeah,
good.
it's
So
so
beautiful.
fun. It's so much
What was
fun.
that last show at Part Wolf I saw you at?
Oh yeah, that was
That was
put
so
on by
cool.
Mike Dose. It was
Mm.
called
My
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, and Mike Dose is awesome.
Yeah.
He's also a really great artist. You should check out if you haven't already.
Very
That
chill.
was a great show.
Mike Dose, MPLS, I believe, is where you
Yeah.
can find more information on him.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Mama Rose, MAMAROSE, is where you can find more information on Instagram, as well as mamarose.blog.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a break here in about 40 seconds. SunDogs TC is where you can find more information about SunDogs and the show. SunDogs Present Local Vibes on Instagram.
Archive shows anchor.fm/local vibes and YouTube under the channel SunDogs TC.
Bang, bang, boom. 651-313-5125 is the studio line. If you feel so inclined to ask our guest a question, perhaps get a psychic reading, or if
yeah.
you need a recipe because you promised someone you'd cook for them this weekend and you forgot.
I can give you a recipe.
651-313-5125. We'll be right back here on SunDogs Present Local Vibe.
Oh, wow.
Recipe for success.
Welcome back to SunDogs Present Local Vibes. We are sitting down here with Mama Rose It's for editing purposes. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay,
We totally
I was
should have
like,
told you
that
that.
was no time.
That was, if you tuned in live stream, that was the quickest break you've ever freaking seen.
Yeah, exactly.
So fast.
We're back.
And if you aren't
Thanks for
listening
waiting.
live, thanks for waiting.
Yeah,
We
we're
are
good.
back here with Mama Rose. Thanks for your patience.
Thanks for the awesome extemporaneous performance, both of you guys. Tom da bomb.
Tom the bomb. No
That was
patience for
sweet.
PC.
And you guys have a son together, correct?
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a sweet song. That was fucking.
Yeah,
that
what
was-
do you is there a message to your future son if he's watching this?
Ooh, a little Easter egg for him when he finds the SunDogs TC channel.
Oh, let's see. The world is going to be more complicated by the time that he's older, but I have no doubt that he's going to be firmly centered in his spirit and he'll have no trouble navigating it. So I suppose my message would just be the same message that I give him all the time, which is that I love him and he is perfect.
Mama vibes.
Tom, do you have a message for Thomas?
I would just say create something beautiful.
Create something
So you're
beautiful.
right at the camera.
Create something beautiful, boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry to switch gears. We are running out of time here on SunDogs
Okay.
Present Local Vibes. Your representative sent over the first 2 tracks of Drink More Water, which was released in February
yep.
of this year,
Yes.
2021. We were wondering, I kind of habitually ordered them track 1, track 2 to kind of
Yeah.
give people a
Yeah,
little
that's fine.
taste. Okay, fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Would you care to share any information about those 2 tracks in particular
Oh.
before we play them? We like to play those as the last thing the
Yes.
audience hears.
I
is
would
those
love
2
to.
tracks.
Okay, before I tell you about these 2 songs, I'm going to tell you that I have my first album almost finished. And that's coming out later this year. And it has a little bit in common with these songs, but it goes some different directions that are a little bit more folky, too. So
Okay.
I hope that people will stay tuned for that. And these songs are kind of just, I make music as my life goes. So they're relevant to my experiences at the time, and I hope that they connect with people in a place where, I like my music to be able to meet you where you are. And the first one I made when Tom and I started dating. I made like a seed of it at that time. Like I started the idea of it, and it was just this little thing that I kept singing, and then it turned into a full song when I brought that little seed into the studio with Jason Fay, who's the producer that I work with for almost all of my music. He's absolutely incredible, and he really helps me bring things to life.
Very cool.
So the first song, Sweet Waters, is a song that I made for myself in celebration. And then also, it's a song that I made for all women and all people with female bodies to really celebrate our anatomy and celebrate the fact that we are life-giving, watery... Can I say sexual? Can I say that?
If you're being specific.
You said it.
Okay, great. We are life-giving, watery, sexual creatures that deserve to embody that energy fully and be empowered by it. So that's what that song's for. And then I noticed that at that time too, like most of the music that is easy to access is pretty much made like from this male gaze, and I didn't want that. I wanted something that I could put on when my partner and I were intimate that was about me and that was celebrating me from my perspective. And then Flood was a freestyle, which I get so excited about because I love freestyling so much. And that was the first song that I ever made with Jason. So I went into Jason Fay's studio for the first time, and he was like, let's just put on a little guitar loop and like see how you work and like get in the flow and figure out what we can do together. And then I sang Flood, and then we built the instrumental behind it. So, and Tom had some really great contributions to the instrumental too, like the water sounds, which is absolutely a key part of it.
Yeah, oh my gosh. And yeah, the whole project's called Sweet Waters.
The whole project is called
More
Drink
Water.
More Water.
That's right,
Yep,
that's
which we
right.
should all do.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yep, the first song's called Sweet Waters, and the second song's called Flood.
Very cool. Was that you said? Was that your first project of song
That was
collection
my
of
first
songs?
project, yep. And that was actually, I hadn't even released a solo song before that.
That's very cool. And you're about to release another project.
Yeah, and this
Oh.
is a full-length album.
Yeah, do you love doing the project?
I
Like taking
love it.
people on a journey?
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's so
taking
cool.
people on a journey is my whole game.
Yeah, we're definitely saturated with singles, single
These days.
tracks these days. So
Yeah,
it's very,
singles are good too.
Oh,
very,
definitely.
very refreshing to kind of get a concept album, a concept project,
Yeah,
if you
it's
will.
fun. And it's nice when you can break it up and take it as a single if you want to, or
Definitely.
listen to it as a larger body of work.
Yeah, he's a big full album start to finish guy.
It's so nice.
I'm either way, but like I really appreciate an album that you can listen to all the way through.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not an album full of bangers that usually are the albums that you can listen to all the way through. It's like the the highs and the lows and the
dynamic,
journey and
the
like
eclectic,
the
yeah.
dynamic
Yeah.
exactly. Where it's like, oh, we put this song before that song just so you would be like feel like we would know what you were feeling before we hit you with this, and it's just like, oh, I
Yeah,
love it.
setting it up. And that's
Yeah.
like what I do with psychic and energy work too, is to take people on a journey that's a healing journey. So the idea of the projects too is to be able to lay things out in a way where our energy is transformed through that process of listening, and it's healed and it's cleaned and it's cleared and it's released.
Oh man, extra special. It's extra special music. It's just the thought that going into it
It's
will make it
intentional.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Precisely. And I think that's a lot more intention than most artists will put into a project versus just, you had mentioned earlier, Pact was more in a supportive production or a supportive phase versus a production phase. And some people are always stuck in that production phase.
Yeah, well,
And,
that's...
I mean, it's good for some people, it's bad for others, but it's phenomenal to hear that there was even more intention than, I want to be famous
Yeah.
within this project. It's beautiful.
Thank you for that. I think it's really important for us to honor that our creativity does work in cycles and spirals, and that we will be unhealthy if we're always in production mode.
Yeah. So we've got a little bit of time before these songs play. Again, if we forget to say it, Sweet Waters is first, then Flood is coming out off of Mama Rose's project Drink More Water, which is available
Everywhere.
boom, ba-boom, boom.
Yep.
And you said live on air, upcoming project before the year is out.
Yeah.
We're going to hold you to that.
That's fine.
Oh, so excited because you
Probably already
performed
done.
some of those songs
I
at
have.
Parkwolf. Oh,
Yeah,
so
I did.
Okay.
I know.
I'm missing
waiting.
out.
I'm ready. I'm so ready. I was wishing you would have brought one of them for a little.
I thought about
Can't
bringing
drop
a
it
new
too
one,
early.
but the only new one that I really wanted to bring is 7 minutes long. But I'm releasing that in a couple weeks. So.
I'll be waiting. So your psychic work.
Yeah.
What is that even all about? We've got maybe
I was
a
gonna
minute.
Say, tell me how long I have. Okay,
Yeah, for like
I'm
1
gonna
minute.
talk really fast. Psychic work is about getting rid of the narrative that we've been given our entire life and opening ourselves up beyond our regular senses to allow more information to circulate in our experience and in our lives. And when we do that, we easily surpass everything that looked like an obstacle for us before that. And I know that it's really deep work. It means going into a lot of things that we were given that we've told ourselves are us that aren't really. So it's grief work. It's letting go of a lot of who we think we are and setting things down that don't work for us, that have never really been a true authentic part of our path. So it's coming into authenticity. And that's what I do when I work with my clients. I bring information through my psychic senses that's able to support other people in opening up, getting centered, and ultimately living their entire lives in the flow state.
Wow, that's
Healing,
awesome.
to say the least. And
And
so
what you,
absolutely.
and what
So-
you can expect from Mama Rose's music.
Yeah.
And you got a little taste of the rapid cadence that she sometimes uses.
Sometimes, yeah,
Thank-
I get in the flow.
Thank you again so much for sitting down with us. We're gonna have to you back on
Thank
the
you
show.
so much, you guys.
We only got to skim the surface here on SunDogs Present Local Vibes. If you'd like to introduce these two tracks for the listeners,
You're
please.
about to hear Sweet Waters and Flood, the first two songs off of my recent EP called Drink More Water, and my name is Mama Rose.
Very cool. This has been SunDogs Present Local Vibes.
We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Sweet waters, sweet like honey. Come and get it. Draw it from me. Sweet, sweet water. Sweet like honey. Magic potion. Lovely, lovely. Sweet water. Watch me open, feel me, soften, honey. I've got water dripping from me, sweet like honey, lovely, lovely. Sweet water's on your chin, driving from me. Fingertips, sweet water's on your lips, sweet water's lovely, lovely, sweet waters, sweet waters, sweet waters, you driving from me, fingertips, sweet waters on your lips, sweet waters, lovely, lovely, sweet waters on your lips, sweet waters, lovely, days get longer as I get older. I take off one shoe, then the other. I'm always looking for something new. I'm always trying to find that groove. I step in the water, step in the mud. I'm waiting for something.